Okay, so we start out with 2 3/4 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt and sugar each, and 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of water that we're going to heat up.
Okay.
All right, so we'll combine the flour, the salt, and the sugar. And we're going to go ahead and get, and the yeast. Don't forget the yeast.
Put the yeast right in there with it.
Put the yeast right in there with it.
Okay. It's hard to find that yeast in the middle of quarantine.
So there you go, little yeasties. Gonna get to work in there. All right, we're actually gonna go ahead and get this mixing while we heat the water.
That's on,
We're just stirring it for now.
just on stir, okay?
Yeah, till we add the water.
Okay.
So it's starting to make a ball. We're gonna let this guy run until it's one big smooth dough ball.
Okay. So we got it on about medium. Did it say how long to let it run, or we're just guessing at this?
No, we're just guessing.
You know what, honey? I think you look just like the bakers on Great British Baking Show.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually kneaded dough. Have you ever?
This recipe didn't say we needed to, but
Have you ever? What's the plural? Have you ever knead a
have
dough?
I ever netted dough? I don't know. No, I have not.
Kneaded a dough? Kneaded dough. Or netted a dough. Looks good. I like it. Okay.
Do like this, right?
So Paul Hollywood would say, don't overwork the dough.
And we're working heck out of it. Okay, so now we're going to toss in the dough, turn to coat.
Okay. Looks good.
We're going to cover it with wrap and plastic wrap and a towel.
That's what it says to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like seal it, apparently.
Yep.
Okay.
And then let it sit for 35 minutes. And hopefully it should get bigger. We'll see.
Okay, so we feel like the onions and the celery are cooked. We're adding in the flour now. We add this in and stir constantly for 4 minutes is what it said. Okay, so to be clear, the celery and the onions are cooking in the bacon grease.
And butter.
And the butter that we added. So, yum. If any of you ever had the beer cheese soup at Le Cellier, you now understand why it tastes amazing. If you haven't, then here you go. We're saving you a trip. Okay, stirring this constantly for 4 minutes, and then what are we adding, huh?
Medium heat for 4 minutes.
Medium heat for 4 minutes.
And then we're going to add 3 cups of chicken stock.
3 cups of chicken stock. So you can see here with a minute on high heat, it's turned into a very thick, almost like a paste. It looks to me like a massive roux.
A veggie roux.
Massive veggie roux. And so we turn this down and we still let this simmer.
Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Did it double in size? Oh, look.
I'd say so. Looks good.
It's a much bigger dough ball.
Right.
All right, so we're going to turn this out.
To the floured surface. And then you're punching it down.
Punch it down.
Okay.
Wouldn't
And
be-
then re-knead it. Is that what it said?
Re-knead it for a minute.
Can I? So Great British Baking Show.
It is very Great British Baking Show, isn't it?
Paul Holly would be proud of me, don't you think?
I think so. I hope so. He's my inspiration. Okay, now we're going to separate this into 8 pieces.
8 pieces, okay? Because once again, the recipe said to go for balls. And again, this is a copycat recipe. This isn't the Disney recipe. But at Disney, they serve the pretzel bread as like a bread stick. So, you know, why would we make a pretzel dough bun if we could make it like Disney, right? I mean, we're going for full magic here.
Toad's magic.
Toad's magic. Okay, so we're cutting it into 8 equal pieces. Well done on your math there, hon. Dang, you divided that and conquered it.
I thought it through. Okay, we got 8.
All right, and so now we're going to shape them into the sticks that we see at Le Cellier.
We're going to try to.
Okay.
Here's where we've gone rogue from the recipe, but trying to do what they do at Le Cellier. We got 8 fairly unfortunately shaped, soon-to-be pretzel rolls, and we're going to score them. The recipe we're using says to score like a cross, like a hot cross bun, but we're going to try to do a diagonal scoring like we see on the pretzel rolls at Le Cellier.
And then these reproof.
And then these reproof again. And then we boil them.
Right, that's how you get the pretzely crust.
That and an egg wash.
Ah.
Technically, on real pretzels, they use lye in their boil.
But the Mennonites that provide them to Disney don't.
No, I think the Mennonites probably do because they know how to use lye without poisoning everybody.
Ah, okay. But we do not. And the copycat recipe doesn't call for a lye.
Right, no, it calls for baking soda. So,
Okay.
okay, so now we're going to cover these and let them proof again.
So you can see here we've got it to a really nice, smooth consistency. And again, we've had the beer cheese soup at Le Cellier a lot of times, and we don't remember there being any chunks. So we're convinced that this is part of the recipe that just was not stated. So we're going to blend it just a little bit more, and then we'll let it simmer for 15 minutes.
Okay, super nervous. Don't know if these things rose again. We'll see. Oh my gosh, they totes got bigger. They totally got bigger.
They did. That's awesome.
Okay, science experiment time.
Here we go.
This guy's boiling, or just about to boil. We're gonna put the baking soda and the sugar in and see what happens. Look out.
Here we go. Put them in at the same time. Ooh.
Just a little foamage. A little bit of foamage.
And then what, you stir? Okay.
Stir that a little bit. Dissolve that baking soda.
I'd say that went well.
So, you know, it didn't explode in my face.
So it's a win.
That's a win. So sorry, here you go.
So 30 seconds per side.
30 seconds or so per side.
So for some reason on the second 2 that went in, it's become very, very foamy. We don't really know what's going on there. We're just rolling with it.
I turned down the heat and the
Turn down
foam
the
has
heat
gone
a
down
smidge.
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so we're down to about medium right now. And while those are going, you're going to do 30-second egg wash.
We got egg wash, these guys. Egg whites only.
And we actually use liquid egg whites that we have in the fridge. We
That's
didn't
right.
like crack it in.
We did not. And we're gonna salt generously, it says. Because you want to salt everything generously.
So we've got some Bacardi strawberry daiquiri mix here, and we need about 1/3 of that. Now it calls for 1 ounce per drink. We're making 3 drinks, So that's why we're using a third. Okay, so we've got a third of the Bacardi daiquiri mix going in. And this is all supposed to be shaken in a cocktail shaker, but we don't have that. So we're gonna just stir. Now we need 4 ounces of lemonade per drink. So that's gonna be 1.5 cups. And we went with the Simply Lemonade. Simply Light, actually, just because that's what they had at the grocery store. And so we're just pouring into each glass. And so we made enough for 3, so we're making 3 here. Okay, so we've got 3 strawberry lemonades here with the basil. You can see the whole strawberries in there in the basil. And then now for the adults in the room, there's Tito's. The recipe calls for 2 ounces per drink. So we're gonna make 1 of these non-alcoholic and then 2 for adults. Okay, so we're coming down the home stretch. We got 3 more minutes on the pretzel bread in the oven, and we're gonna add the last little flare of touch to the soup. You didn't buy a special brand.
It was Goose Creek IPA, but it just calls for a pale ale.
Calls for a pale ale, right. So we just picked something that we could get 1 bottle of. Put this in at the last minute with no heat. We have tasted it. We've added significant amounts of salt and pepper because that's how we like it. And now we will ladle this out into bowls, put some bacon on top, and
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, man. Call it a day. Yum! All right, here comes the pretzel bread out of the oven. I may have already peeked, and I'm pretty excited about it. Oh my goodness, that looks so good.
You know, I wouldn't call it exactly Le Cellier's,
but I'd call it I'm gonna eat 2.
I'm gonna eat 2 of them for sure.
Oh, that looks so good. Nice. Well done. Solid meal.